It is 8 o'clock on the East Coast. It is 5 o'clock on the West Coast. It is the 21st of November in the year of our Lord 2024, season 15, episode 20. 689 times you have been welcome to the Clubhouse Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things sports, entertainment, pop culture, and pro wrestling. Right here on Sunset Lounge DFW. We're so happy that you're a part of our network. We got a lot of big things coming, so get ready for that. Welcome. My name is Rob. I am the executive producer of the Clubhouse Podcast, and right now I am riding solo. Don out on assignment tonight. Alex is on his way, but we got plenty to talk about, and we're going to get to it all. But we want to remind you, next week we will not have a live show, but we're going to have something special for you on that day. So you want to be by the channel on Thanksgiving Day. There he is. My co-host. He's right over there. And a man who almost matches his background. He is Alex.
Well, I tried to scramble, get some things done so that we had just us. And I, family tradition. If I wasn't late, I wouldn't exist.
If it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would get done.
Yeah.
All right. So we have something that hasn't happened in a while to start things off.
Mm-hmm.
You sent me a couple of things you wanted to talk about. I was very excited about
Interestingly enough, I had a third one pop up.
All right, well, let's go with the first, because we're going to start with college football. And the only thing that you sent me was Brian Bohannon and Kennesaw State.
So, in the interest of practicing what we preach, I want to make sure that we take time to highlight positives.
Absolutely.
So, for those that don't know, Brian Bohannon was the head football coach of Kennesaw State. And I say was because he was recently let go of duties. The team was not having a great season. And as we know, no coach lasts forever. But the most important part of this, for those that don't know, the crossover with this is Braun Breaker, who we cover very regularly in the Cheap Popcast, nephew of Scott Steiner, son of Rick Steiner, played at Kennesaw State. So that was our transition there and why it popped into my purview. Now, the important part is Brian Bohannon was terminated. He was let go as a coach. But he has shown up to the home games to hype up the team that he recruited, the team that he coached, as if nothing ever changed for him, but so that those kids, in his words, knew that he had their back regardless.
Nice.
And I wish I had played for more coaches like that.
Indeed. Because it can be a fine line. It can be a fine line of on both sides of that fence. And the fact that not only is it that there's no static with it is what I love.
Mm-hmm. And the aspect of the fact of, like, not everything goes your way. Not everything goes the way you want. Nobody likes losing a job. But the fact that this man stands up for, quote unquote, his kids, regardless of whether or not he's paid to be around them anymore, I just thought was a really cool note that I wanted to at least bring to light so that more people knew about it.
Totally here for that.
So know that if you do anything like that, people see. And it is important that people see.
Let's get to the
other
current
note.
Go ahead, please. I didn't realize the other note was for college football.
I thought you were going to feed the notes.
No, the other note.
Honestly, I don't remember what the second one was.
It was a movie thing.
Got it. Let's roll.
If the playoffs started today, as we get through week 13 of the college football season, which is crazy, especially when you realize we're starting week 12 in the NFL. If they started today, your buys would be Oregon at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Texas, ranked 3rd, 2nd seed. Because again, highest team in the conference. Miami, 3rd seed, currently ranked 8th. Boise State as your 4 seed, as it stands. Oregon almost, like, remember we had a year, this was probably about 10 years ago, where it sucked to be ranked 2 because like 7 weeks in a row, the second ranked team in the country lost. The reason I remember is it happened to South Florida against Rutgers. Oh, Alex, you're stuttering on me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your video's kind of lagging some.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, so we're back.
Oh, I'm getting a host notice again.
Okay. Oregon would get the winner of Alabama Notre Dame if it started today. Boise State would get the winner of BYU and Ohio State, who this weekend hosts Indiana. Texas would get the winner of Ole Miss, Indiana, as it currently stands. Now, if Indiana doesn't keep the ball rolling this weekend, that will definitely change things. Miami would get the winner of Georgia, Penn State. Here's the weird thing.
I think we know who wins that.
But here's the weird thing for me. And I don't know if this is just aesthetics. Let me show you what I'm talking about here, because I'm showing, let me see if it'll let me open the image in a separate tab. Yes. Because I want to isolate. Ooh, yeah, it did. Because I want to isolate this image. Because like I said, this might be aesthetics, but I don't know. So as soon as it tells me I can share something, that's the one I want. Share. Do you see anything weird about this?
Okay, I think I'm missing. Oh, wait. No. Tell me what you're thinking of, because I'd be grasping at straws.
It lies right here and right here. Regardless of what happens here, these teams will be the higher seed, correct? Is my math right on that?
Yes.
Yeah. So by technical definition, in the way sports are normally presented,
yes.
By the way, especially football is presented to us, your home team should be the second one listed. So what I'm asking is this just aesthetics because they put them close together? Or are we going to say that your 12-5 and your 11-6 winner will be the quote-unquote home team in the second round? Because it's, I mean,
for you, I think this might be a bit of your OCD kicking in, because college sports across the board have used this aesthetic for a while now. What it really is whichever one hasn't had a prior game is the higher seed and the home team. But this way they can actually space it out a little bit to look at as it goes in. Basketball has used this. The Frozen Four has used this. I want to say baseball uses this as well for college. It's purely the fact that you have more buys and more teams involved that winds up going through, and it just ensures that they have a balanced bracket as far as bubble and appearance looks.
Fair enough. It just looked odd to me. And because this is the first time we're doing this with buys,
I didn't know if you were I didn't know if you were fishing for the idea that every logo either had a single letter or a single picture other than Ole Miss.
Oh, no, it wasn't going that far, but I can understand where you were going.
That's why I was like,
my OCD would be prone to that. You are correct. I am not arguing that on any level.
Yeah, no, the only part of this, I don't have a problem with the aesthetic of the layout of the bracket, but I still feel like there should be a reseeding based on what their overall rank is. Because no way Oregon being number 1 and going undefeated should wind up running into Ohio State in the second game as the number 2 overall seed.
No, Ohio State would run
I think
into
that they should do
Ohio State would run into Boise
similar
State.
to NFL.
Oregon would get the winner of Alabama Notre Dame.
Oh, I lost you on that one. Say that again.
Oregon would get the winner of Alabama Notre Dame. If Ohio State wins, they would get Boise State.
Right. I said Oregon's second game.
Oh, well, okay, because of the bye. Okay, I'm with you now. I'm going, my numeric went by round. And your video's getting kind of funky too.
Weird. All I'm getting is the host notice. Anyways, but no, I was referring to Oregon's second game being against somebody that highly ranked overall. Just seems unbalanced for somebody who ran the table.
You're not wrong. Let's get into NFL talk.
Are we that delayed?
Yeah, you're like 5. You may want to log out and log back in. Because like your video's fuzzy now. This is riveting. Let me try something and see what happens here. How is it now? Is it better for you?
Much.
You're on about a 3-second delay right now.
Okay. I still have the host notice, but for the feed for me is less choppy.
Okay, what if I do this? This is like the optometrist's office. Is this better or is this better? Is this better or is this better? 1 or 2? Any improvement there?
I guess that means I'm not coming through. I'm going to try and reset.
Okay, fair enough. Again, riveting is what we do. Where Alex is, his internet's not as strong as it is in other places. They just got fiber, so they're trying to work through that. It's also something that we're working through offline a little bit as well. But we are going to get into NFL talk here just momentarily. The Thursday night game is about to kick off on Prime. And I will tell you, Cleveland, Ohio, right now, it is snowing, brother. It is coming down because it is late November, which is my favorite time of year for football. Football! By the way, that's a reference to Wildcats, old school movie. Go check it out. Back before Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes were even known. They were in that movie together. Before there was even White Men Can't Jump, there was Wildcats. Goldie Hawn checking in. Alex is in the waiting room. I'm waiting for his camera to get turned on so that I can put him on the screen for you, lovely people. But I did tell you at the top of the show, we got some really cool stuff coming. One of the things that we're kicking off happened last weekend. You'll hear about it very, very soon. It's a brand new feature that we're doing on the show because we're going to be going to tiered memberships based on Empire rankings. It's kind of cool. Alex came up with it. I can't take any credit. But we have cool perks that come with those rankings, and we're going to be releasing those rankings very, very soon. I'm going to do a full video on it so you can understand that for $5 a month, you get all the shows. There you go. There's Alex. Now he's back. So for $5 a month, you get all the shows right here on the Patreon. That's standard. That's cool. That's our ensign level. Above that, we got a video coming all about it. Do you have me now, sir? Nope, I don't have him. So we'll figure out what's going on there. But we've got some really cool perks, including exclusive videos that you'll only get on certain tiers. Really cool perks when you get up there a ways. That's all I'm saying. You're going to have like a nice little avatar that goes with it that's going to tell everybody what level of the Empire you're on. It's pretty cool, man. I'm excited. So stick with us in the weeks to come. We will be talking all about it is cold in Cleveland. Good mercy. It's gonna be a. I love winter football. There's just something about cold and football that just like my shirt says. Thank God it's football season. I got this actually at the College Football Hall of Fame when it was in South Bend. It's no longer in South Bend. It's in Atlanta now. But I got this many, many years ago. I was on a work trip up to South Bend. I have you. I don't know. Let me try this. Do you have me?
Let's start over. Let's see how that is, because you started counting before anything came clear.
Okay. Do you have me now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You're about a 3-second delay right now. Mm-hmm. So I was just saying honestly, that
at least a second of that's user error.
I was saying that it is snowing like a mug in Cleveland right now as we get ready for Thursday night football.
Oh, see, I've killed everything to make sure that this is the only thing taking my bandwidth.
Okay, so I'm going to try something else here to go back to where I was before. We'll see how this works. This shouldn't take up a ton of memory. Get into NFL talk. Jets general manager Joe Douglas is out. Who's left to blame? Who is left? Aaron Rodgers now being cagey about next season. Bro, not your decision at this point.
Yeah, I liked when I saw the aspect of where do you expect Aaron Rodgers to be next year? And it was the Jets, Tennessee, the Raiders, unemployed, in a hole somewhere, on a pot farm in the Northwest. And it was like the most ridiculous line of thought.
Well, they didn't have my guess on there. Your video there. Now you're back. They didn't have my guess on there. My guess would have been somewhere like overseas.
Which was?
Asia. Because that's where he was this year when he missed training camp, wasn't it?
Yeah, I could see anyone. Let's be honest. It's Aaron Rodgers. Nobody really knows. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't either.
So, they got that going for him. Like, just mail the rest of this in because it's not going to get better. It's not going to improve for that team this season. Just mail it in and move on. It's that simple. Netflix.
Join the Giants. Daniel Jones is now QB4 on a team that only has 3.
I thought he was QB3.
He is QB4. They signed Tim Boyle off the street and put him over Daniel Jones.
Netflix will have...
Now, I respect but hate at the same time. The reason they signed somebody and made him QB4 was because they are putting him in a no-contact jersey. They don't want any chance that he gets injured, and they owe him any more money after this season.
Netflix will have both NFL games on Christmas Day. Texans-Ravens, which will have Beyonce at halftime, and Chiefs-Steelers. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to go because we all know what happened last Friday. We don't need to go through it. But
is a fact.
Given what happened last Friday, Netflix, you better figure out what load management is when it comes to your servers, because you want to say 107 million people worldwide watch that thing. You might have that many watch these games domestically because it's Christmas Day and it's the NFL.
And my favorite of that is it started out as, we had 60 million people. Now it's 107 because every time there's a reason.
Domestic number. They were saying 107 globally.
Right. But what I'm saying is they originally said it was 60 million streams, then tried to say it was 107 million people based on a 1.8 factor. And that's how they got the global.
Speaking of the Chiefs, they lose their first game since Christmas of last year. Did you hear some of the crazy stats that came out of this, Alex?
Very few. I'm actually surprised I didn't hear more.
I've got some cool stuff this week. I've been doing a lot of research. Okay. This is the first time the Chiefs have given up more than 27 points in their last 32 games.
Oh, wow.
What was
Magnola's always had a great decode.
And a great game. A fantastic game to watch.
Absolutely.
The Bills are now 9-2 for the first time since I was in my first year of college. Well, technically second when the season was. 1992 was the last time the Bills were 9-2.
Mm-hmm.
Nuts. Now, we go to the team playing tonight, currently going. The Steelers. Did you know the Steelers are 2-0 this year in a game they don't score a touchdown, which they did not on Sunday?
Yes, I do.
The rest of the league in that category?
Yep.
You know what the record for the rest of the league in that category is?
Well, I know it's not perfect because the Giants lost a game like that earlier this year.
2-18. That's the rest of the league in games when they don't score a touchdown.
Yeah, so it's Pittsburgh and Washington. That's your list.
Well, no, the Steelers, if you add the Steelers, it would be 4-18 because the rest of the league is 2-18.
Oh, the rest of the league. Yeah. So it's Washington and somebody else.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson now 1 for 5 against Pittsburgh. The Steelers,
it really is.
Zimmerman texted both of us and said, I mean, he's not wrong, but none of us said that the Steelers weren't going to do well. One more victory, Steelers. I need one more win out of you. Just one.
Oh, yeah.
And then
I would like to harp on the fact that when you go against great players like Lamar Jackson, you need great coaching. And Mike Tomlin is such a great coach. I mean, the man just doesn't lose seasons.
Nope. You want another crazy stat from this week?
Go for it.
Joe Burrow is averaging 306 yards per game in their 7 losses.
Yep.
I heard that and I was like, oh, that's going on the run sheet because that's insane.
Well, I sent you one a couple weeks ago, didn't I?
You may have.
The Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow goes 48 of 60, throws for 537 yards and 7 TDs, and they still lose.
Insane. But let's get into last week. Philly was giving Washington 4.5, and they actually do cover, winning by 8 last Thursday night. On Sunday, Green Bay was giving 6, but did not cover as they beat Chicago by a point.
I lost that one.
You know, so there's certain times, like Alex and I sometimes will disagree, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But there are certain times when Alex and I agree, if we agree as solidly as we did about this next one, you may as well bet the house. Because we said Detroit giving Jacksonville 13.5 wasn't going to be enough. We said MCDC is not going to let off the gas. If you can't stop him, you better hope you can contain him. And Jacksonville couldn't even do that as Detroit scores touchdowns on their first 7 straight possessions, winning this game 52-6. Still had Goff in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and here's the other funny part. They actually did take their foot off the gas for normal Detroit play calling. It's just the fact that their idol is so much better than most other teams trying, including the Mac Jones-led Jacksonville Jaguars.
Minnesota was giving 6 to Tennessee. They do cover as they win by 10. The Dolphins giving 7.5. This was a little unstable for me, but they covered it. Almost doubling up.
Yep.
The Raiders. 34-19. The Rams were giving 4. They cleared it by 4 as they beat New England by 6. And a game, man, shouldn't have been that close. The Saints start out a little rough against the Browns, but then find where they're at. Cleveland was giving them 1. New Orleans said, I'll tell you what, we'll give you that 1 back, and we'll just add 20 to it. The Jets were giving 4 to Indianapolis. Should have gone the other way around because Indianapolis beats them by a point. Pittsburgh getting 3.
Before we get off of this, how good did Anthony Richardson look finally?
It was bound to happen, and it was the Jets. Yeah. Like, everything's coming up Millhouse. Speaking of which, I don't know if you heard about this, the lady that voices Millhouse getting ready to retire. But Pittsburgh was getting... Yeah, that came down yesterday. Pittsburgh getting 3 from Baltimore. Didn't need it because they win by a point. Denver giving 2 to Atlanta. Didn't need them because they beat them by almost 5 touchdowns. Seattle wins the game outright when they were getting 6 in a very messy game.
Yep.
We already talked about Buffalo, Kansas City, my favorite game of the week, even with a Buffalo win, and I have Buffalo's defense in fantasy, which was very helpful for me. Chargers not chargering yet, but I'm not falling for the rope-a-dope. They were giving 1.5, didn't need it. They win by 7. And Monday night, again, when Alex and I agree this solidly on something, when Houston was giving 7 and we said it wasn't enough, they already covered that in the first quarter as Houston beats Dallas by almost a quarter of a century. And a game that I didn't even need to watch. I'm like, I'd rather watch Monday Night Raw than this game. And I did. Right now, it is still scoreless with 9:12 left. Cleveland has the ball as they are. Jameis Winston takes the field. Coming up Sunday, Alex, let's talk about it. Minnesota goes to Soldier Field and is getting 3.5.
Stupid hook. Minnesota's the better team. They're clearly the better team. Chicago is starting to look like they have a pulse, which is why Matt Eberflus still has a job. Funny how that happens the moment they get rid of Shane Waldron. I'm going to stick with Minnesota. I wanted to pull the trigger on the Bears just because of the hook, but I can't do it.
Give me Minnesota minus 3.5. We're almost time for me to repost what I posted last year to wish a happy, crazy NFL math season to those who participate. But this is the time of year where everybody starts to ratchet it down, and I think Minnesota's trying to get on a run. So I would not bet against them. Detroit goes to Indianapolis and is giving 7.5. It ain't enough.
Honestly, I'm on Indianapolis' side because I want you to do me a favor real quick. Do you see the look aheads for the Lions?
You need the schedule?
Well, that's what I mean. Like their next few games.
I can get that for
because
you.
I can pull that.
I got it right there. In the meantime, teams on the bye this week: Atlanta, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, the Jets, and New Orleans. So we are looking ahead at the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, former champs of basketball. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong team. Coming up
though.
At Indianapolis, then 3 straight home games: Chicago, Green Bay, Buffalo. At Chicago, at San Francisco, and then they finish hosting the Vikings.
So my point being, I'm leaning into Indianapolis because Indianapolis looked good against the Jets defense, which was surprising on its own. But the Lions gain virtually nothing with beating Indianapolis. This is a game where I feel like we've heard people talk about looking past an opponent. This feels like looking past an opponent to me because they're going to have division game, Buffalo, division game, the Niners, division game. I mean, this stretch is going to be crucial. Now, one of the things I said during our NFL preview is by the time they get to the middle of this stretch, they may already have the number 1 seed locked up, and it is looking pretty close to that. But Green Bay has been better, Minnesota has been better, and Chicago is starting to show signs of life. So I think Detroit might just slightly look ahead. Now, granted, I'm not saying that they lose this game. They still win by a touchdown, I think. But that hook is the reason I'm going with the Colts.
I don't know that MCDC has that in him to be like, oh, let's just get ready. I think MCDC is just going to come out and he's going to bite kneecaps every week.
Well, the bigger problem you have in that scope is it's not MCDC, but he's not on the field. And they just lost their defensive captain and leading tackler to a broken arm last week. So they're going to have to be figuring some stuff out on defense.
Miami giving 7.5 to Oakland in to New England in Joe Robbie Stadium.
I don't know that that's enough.
I'm going to take the Dolphins because I would love to see us at least get to 500 and just keep everybody.
And if we know everything, even when the Patriots were at their absolute best, somehow they always lost in Miami.
Especially when it's in or close to December. I want to apologize to you for this next game because, as those of you know, Alex and I play fantasy football, and this week, Buffalo on the bye, I had to replace my defense, and for me, the best bet for my defense is going to be Tampa Bay as they go to MetLife Stadium to play the Giants.
Do it.
Tampa Bay is giving them 6.
But you have no faith? No faith in Tommy Cutlets?
I love him. Don't get me wrong. I love that kid, and I love that he owns and embraces it.
I love that he's saying all the right things about, like, yeah, last year was fun, but this is business.
I didn't like having to drop my kicker to get a different kicker, but I wasn't going to drop my defense.
Yeah, no. This Tampa Bay is a solid pickup. I thought about doing it in our league where I'm dealing with the Chargers, but at that same time, it's just you got Mike Evans coming back. This offense is going to be clicking since Tampa Bay is looking more complete right now, and the Giants are just a disaster. The only way the Giants win this game is if their defense has multiple touchdowns.
By the way, Alex and I both tied for 5th in the league right now, and Alex is in the top 5 of our Pick'em league. I am currently 10 points off the lead. I'm 1 game back. Dallas goes to Washington. Washington for the first time, and I can't remember how long, giving double digits as they're giving Dallas 10.5. It ain't enough.
No. Don't gloss over that. When's the last time Washington was double digits in Dallas or to Dallas?
I'll say they're at home. They're not
I'm pretty sure Doug Williams was the quarterback at that point.
I wouldn't debate it. Like Chick McGee this morning even said, I can't remember. I don't know if this has happened in my lifetime. And Chick's in his 60s.
That's a valid point. But you're right. It isn't enough.
Kansas City goes to Carolina, giving the Panthers 11. This will not be pretty. Kansas City has the loss out of the way, and now it's time to start running.
Well, the other aspect you have in that scope is you're going to have an angry Chiefs team, very likely, but this is also the kind of team that knows that they're Super Bowl or bust, and these are the games they're supposed to win. So I expect them up by 3 touchdowns by the half, and I don't see it changing much off of that the rest of the way, even with backups and Carson Wentz.
The battle for the Oilers uniforms happens in the early set on Sunday as Tennessee goes to Houston. Houston's giving them 8.
I want to take Tennessee. I really want to take Tennessee because that's a big number.
I reluctantly agree with you because I think it's going to be close, but I don't
think
feel
Houston wins by 7. It's at 1 point.
I don't feel good about it. Into the late set, Denver finds out that the autumn wind is a Raider. Denver's giving 6. I would take Denver minus the 6 here just because it's like they're playing Atlanta again.
You're not wrong. 6 is a big number for a team that isn't very dominant, but Denver has done all the right things right now.
Yep.
And, oh, man, did Bo Nix look good last week.
Oh, yeah. San Francisco goes to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Green Bay giving 3, which technically makes this a pick'em. Green Bay is not winning pretty right now. They're just not. I think San Francisco's starting to get more healthy. I think I would take San Francisco plus the 3 here.
I think you have to take San Francisco. I genuinely believe Green Bay is a more complete team right now. But San Francisco, I feel, is going to be hitting a gear soon. And after quick look, circling back, the last time the Commanders, big asterisk, were double-digit favorites over the Dallas Cowboys was in 1990.
Wow. That was the season of my senior year.
So my Doug Williams joke may have been accurate.
Closing out the late set, Arizona goes to Seattle and gives them a point. I don't like this one at all. Because it's going to depend on which version of both of these teams show up. Usually we're like, well, it depends on which version. But it's both sides of the ball here. I would say give me Seattle just from the home field advantage +1. But again, I don't feel great about it.
Arizona has not looked as good lately as they did about a month ago. And Seattle just won an incredibly hard-fought game against San Francisco.
Yep.
In San Francisco.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Seahawks.
Sunday night football.
I also learned today. Do you know what the proper term or proper name for a Seahawk is?
I do not. Is it an urn?
If you say it twice, it's Osprey. Osprey.
Oh. I always have ERNE, E-R-N-E, when I'm doing crossword puzzles. One of my favorite things, by the way.
Interesting.
Sunday night football, Philadelphia goes to SoFi Stadium, and they are giving the Rams 3. Again, don't feel good.
I love that there's reports about how... I love how there's reports about how will the rain affect this because SoFi is open on either end, and it's like, no, there's a roof. You're good.
Yeah.
This is a tough one because Philadelphia has really started playing much, much better. And I think they know how much their season can be on the line with every single game with Washington just one behind them. Whereas the Rams, even at their best, seem to keep looking up at Seattle and Arizona, ? Yeah. And they have San Francisco coming from behind them. So I feel like they might feel a bit more pressure, and Philly knows that they have to hit the gas, whereas the Rams are just trying not to crash.
I was talking about Philly with friend of the show, Phil Maher, the other night as we were going to a screening.
Who is an Eagles fan.
Yep. And we were both in agreement, like, they have to win out because for the first time in forever, the team that they're watching for is Washington. This is the world we live in. But I think Philly understands the urgency that they have to play under. And I would say give me Philly -3. Monday night football, Baltimore goes to SoFi Stadium. So we have the same, both primetime games played in the same stadium. Baltimore is giving 3. I have 2 things on this.
Go for it.
One,
I think my answer is going to surprise you.
I want to send some love to which one of the Longs is on Inside NFL right now? Is it Jake?
I honestly haven't watched, so maybe.
Whichever
it's
one
Jake
is on.
Or Chris.
It's Chris. It's
but they're
Chris
not
Long.
Related.
It's
okay.
Chris did use the word chargering on last night's episode. So you're welcome, Internet.
I believe that phrase was coined by his father, was it not?
Oh, I don't know.
I believe Howie coined the phrase chargering.
Yeah. Okay. Chargers are trying not to charge her.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't fall for the rope-a-dope either. But Baltimore also not playing consistently, not playing like the team we thought they were going to be 3 months ago. I'm only going to take the Chargers +3 because they're at home. That's all I got.
No part of me thought you were going to take the Chargers. 0%.
Didn't want to. But I just don't. When you don't give Derrick Henry touches in the fourth quarter, you're going to lose games. And yes, it's because I have him on my fantasy team.
See, I thought I was going to pop you because I'm the one who has said that Baltimore in the Super Bowl for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Chargers. They're the more complete team right now. They're the number one scoring defense in the NFL, and it's not particularly close.
That a week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
When did we cross into another version of the multiverse? That's all I want to know.
We are in the khaki timeline. Jim Harbaugh has changed everything.
Good Lord. All right, let's get into TV talk and stuff we watched this week. TV edition. This week has been utter chaos for me, so I have no new TV this week that I've watched. But we keep
the streak alive.
To talk about. Go ahead, sir.
I did watch the first couple episodes of St. Denis Medical. I really want it to be better, but I'm also understanding that this is the very beginning of a show that is trying to do The Office and Parks and Rec style stuff inside of a medical facility, and the Scrubs jokes are not lost on us. But there's some really talented people. I can see where they're at with it. Wendy McCovey is always awesome.
Love her. Big fan.
But she feels a little awkward in her role in this one. Like, it doesn't suit compared to like what she's always been in other places. So I think there might be part of me needing to adjust on her, David Allen Greer, and getting to know the new people that will entertain through St. Denis Medical. So I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to keep looking. But first 2 episodes, a little bit rough. And I will fully disclose, fair warning, super comedy through the whole first episode, and then it gets to the end and takes a wildly hard right turn.
All right. Good to know.
And I will say this. I felt like I should have laughed more, and I definitely feel like I should have been crying less. But I did. Very heartfelt, though. Let me clarify. Very heartfelt, emotional moment to close the first episode. I believe the first episode. I might have to check on that. The first 2 did blend together a little bit.
In news that is not going to make my wife happy, ABC is saying after tonight's episode of Grey's Anatomy, they will not return until March.
Ooh, that's a long stretch.
So, Apple TV, I don't know if you saw this. Did you see that they're remaking Cape Fear as a limited series?
I did see this. I was very confused.
Starring in it?
No.
Call it friendo. Javier Bardem.
Wow.
You have my attention.
But can I ask the stupid question?
Always.
In the De Niro role?
I'm assuming.
Okay, so they have not said.
No, they just said he's going to be in it. When I was in college, I took a course called Detective Films and Novels because there was a thing in Florida called the Gordon Rule, and I don't want to get into that. But what we would do is we would read a novel and then watch the movie version the next week to compare and contrast. Cape Fear and the original, the black and white version, we watched. I watched the De Niro one a few years later. But yeah, I mean, it's a great story. Apple TV seems to be doing things. So,
they do everything great except marketing.
In other insane news, we talked a couple of weeks ago about the Monday Night Football game on December 9th. Cowboys will be playing, I believe, the Giants. Is that the Monday night game?
No. They play Thanksgiving.
So who's the December 9th?
I'm looking it up. Go for it. I'll catch you up.
And we talked about how they're doing an animated overlay on Disney Plus that this year will be Simpsons themed, which I'm very excited about. Go ahead.
Bengals.
Oh, the Bengals. Okay. They're doing it again with a different sport on Christmas Day. For Knicks Spurs, the Disney animated characters will be the overlay on Disney Plus. I don't know why I put this on the Apple TV Plus thing. I put it in the wrong place. Daisy Duck will be your sideline report.
Of course.
So, great news for me. Not really for my wife, because she said she tried to watch this and she couldn't get into it, and I don't understand why. CNN has given a full season order, season 2 for Have I Got News for You.
Good.
I haven't watched the latest.
There are very few shows that become appointment viewing for me. This is one of them. I very much enjoy this.
I do too. I haven't watched this past week's episode because they took the week after the election off.
For the record, the big win for me is Amber Ruffin, who I did not expect to be my favorite.
She and Michael Ian Black have an amazing chemistry that I want them to do a podcast. I just do.
I'm shocked they aren't already.
Yeah, no kidding. Back to Disney Plus, they have announced the Inside Out spinoff called Dream Productions is going to debut next month. And it is almost next month. So get ready for that. I need to take a minute before we get to this next headline. Earlier today, I was helping friend of the show, Mark Walters, set up for Dallas Comic Show this weekend. So come hang out and see me. And friend of the show, Danny Gallagher, put up a headline. And my original thought was, am I being punked? So when I got home, as I was finishing my show prep, I Googled this. It is being reported by multiple sources, and I'm not happy about this. Next summer, after 23 years, ESPN is canceling Around the Horn. I am very upset about this.
I saw this the other day. I didn't even know how to bring it up.
My question is, if this happens, how much PTI do we have left? Because those shows, even though PTI came first, those shows have been joined at the hip for 2 decades. By about a year difference.
In the scope of 20 years, that's nothing.
Right. Because I love both of these shows. I watch them 5 days a week when they're on. My thought process is the last episode of Around the Horn will be at the end of July, because they usually take 2 to 3 weeks. Both shows usually take 2 to 3 weeks in August off and then come back right before the NFL.
May I make a request to ESPN if they are watching?
Please do. We know somebody's watching.
Give me an episode where your 4 panelists are the people who have hosted the show. Give me Kellerman, give me Reale, one of them's gone. But fill it out with your all-star cast and whatever you do. Don't let Bill Plaschke host.
Yeah. But yeah, I just broke my heart earlier today.
You and I had an interesting talk about this because if I remember correctly, you have long said that you were a bigger PTI fan, but not by much. Whereas for me and my possibly devastating competitive streak, I've always appreciated Around the Horn more. But the biggest thing that we have to thank both PTI and Around the Horn for that has become almost commonplace in a lot of areas is what's coming up next.
The rundown.
That was never done anywhere else, the rundown with PTI, where you would have what categories are coming up. And I know you've done the P math, as I have, where you're looking at it and they're like, okay, they're talking about the World Cup. There's a couple of things on basketball. Okay, NFL, I got about 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to run to the bathroom now. And I'm
And when I
sure
couldn't-
there's plenty of people that hate me saying that, but
And when I couldn't
As
watch
we
it,
think
I
about
get the podcast every day so I can at least listen to it so I can keep up.
Mhm.
I'm very sad about this. Okay. HBO Max announcing this week that Lanterns is
I
set.
hope that they find the next big thing to fill in.
I hope so. HBO Max announcing that Lanterns is set to debut in the summer of 2026. So there is a timeline now. A movie that Alex and I have been talking about that I very much want to see, and I don't know if you've seen the trailer for this, but they have announced that December 20th, they will start streaming Juror Number 2.
I have not, but I am very intrigued by this. I have seen details on it, plus amazingly talented people involved.
And allegedly Clint Eastwood's final film.
Allegedly, yes.
So you do know the gist of the plot of this film.
Not enough to be informative or dangerous. I just know of its existence.
Okay. Would you like me to give you the plot of this film?
I have read a blurb. Hit it. Go for it.
So a guy goes up to jury duty, and he is, of course, juror number 2, to a trial that he is 99% sure the defendant is innocent because he thinks he is the one that has committed the crime.
Oh.
I watched the trailer and was like, "Oh, I like this."
Okay,
I hear this.
I saw a still image of this, and it makes so much more sense now seeing Nicholas Hoult that distraught.
Like I'm watching the trailer. And I'm like, okay, so this happened. All right, so like this is a new twist that I don't know that we've seen before. Like I'm like, let's do.
I appreciate new, yeah.
And it only played in 25 theaters nationwide.
That's shocking.
I know, but I will tell you what. December 20th, I'm in front of the TV.
And you said that this is on which platform?
On HBO Max.
Okay, on Max.
They have also announced, we talked about this a few weeks ago, the Friends trivia game called Fast Friends is going to debut the day before that on December 19th. So get ready for that. NBC Peacock.
Holidays hard.
Oh, yeah. Your SNL on December 7th will be Paul Mescal and a Shabuzi.
I want to clarify something. I had no interest in any of this. I was very impressed with Paul Mescal. When we went to see a certain film on Tuesday, and I can't remember. Rob, where did those reviews get put?
That would be at www.theclubhousepodcast.com.
That's our website. But I honestly was very much, I enjoyed his performance. It was just his appearance.
And
if you want to know more about that, please go to the website and read all of our reviews.
I have been told that the Shabuzi is a pseudo country artist. Almost bro country. That's what I'm being told by sources.
Odd.
Got nothing.
Okay.
And another headline that will actually, I don't know, I think my wife will be happy with this. Season 27 of The Voice will have the return of Adam Levine. I think that Gwenny's going to take this one off and then he's going to fill in for her, I think is what I read. And Suits LA has announced that Gabriel Mock's character Harvey Specter will be in it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Yes.
And also all of your Law and Order shows
has even alluded to that as well.
All of your Law and Orders are on an 8-week hiatus, and Reba McEntire's show Happy's Place gets a full season order.
I want to watch this show, but I can't bring myself to it.
My problem is I don't have time for TV. There's so much going on. It's insanity.
Yeah.
MGM Plus has renewed a show Don's very fond of, for season 4.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Netflix has canceled Scott Pilgrim Takes Off after a season. It kind of came and went. Like it was everywhere and then it was nowhere. And so it fell off my radar.
Yeah.
We have the announcement for season 2 of Pokemon Horizons, the series. It'll kick off February 7th. Season 2 will be called The Search for Laqua, Laqua.
That sounds right. I wish Zimmerman was here. He'd have more for us.
Another one of my wife's favorite shows, season 14 of Call the Midwife will kick off in March. My wife very much enjoys that show. And they have renewed A Good Girl's Guide to Murder for season 2. Paramount
I've heard
Plus
positive things about that first season, but
Paramount Plus / Showtime says season 3 of Yellow Jackets will kick off on February 14th on Valentine's Day. And if you are unaware, Transformers 1 is now available on Paramount Plus, and I highly recommend it.
I am excited.
So, you haven't watched it yet?
Not yet. No.
Oh, I can't wait to hear your thoughts because I love that movie. TV on DVD and Blu-ray this week. Season 2 of the reboot of Quantum Leap, which I believe is their last. Season 9 of the Fairly Odd Parents reboot.
Oh, I love that show.
Attack on Titan, the final chapters, part 3, and the final season. We have a new Looney Tunes Collector's Choice Edition, Volume 4. We have Ultraman Blazar, the complete series and the movie. I believe that was the Netflix series. We have Collection 1 of MXC, my friend.
Oh, boy.
One of the greatest shows of our time. And if you've never seen Most Extreme Challenge,
No. Before you get anywhere, the only thing I want is I want one of the extras to be them pitching the show. I want somebody pitching the show because of how ridiculous it is. And I'm trying to remember if it's Tadashi or Takeshi's Castle.
It was Takeshi's Castle. I'm pretty sure.
But Takeshi's Castle. So the reason I say that, and I want to give you this, and I don't know that you and I have ever talked about it. What if I told you I had watched multiple seasons of Takeshi's Castle before MXC became a thing?
Oh.
Now,
so for those of you that
sounds
don't
really strange because it was the infancy of the internet. I was actually in Italy and they were playing Takeshi's Castle. And I was like, I don't speak Italian well enough. This is awesome because I get the gist of Japanese people getting hit with giant fake boulders. So let's go. And I watched 3 seasons straight of Takeshi's Castle while I was in Italy.
Takeshi's Castle is the basis for Most Extreme Challenge. It ran in America for 4 years. You remember who showed it?
That was on Spike, wasn't it?
It was TNN and Spike. It was that era.
Yeah.
Basically, they took this Japanese game show that is
did
like
nothing with it.
what Wipeout wishes it was, and the dubbing of it is just the most random, hilarious. You just want to have a good time. Watch you some MXC. That's all I'm saying.
I'm Vic Romano, and this is Kenny Blankenship.
I just remember one time because the contestants would always like do some kind of a move, and the one I always remember was some guy going, "I'm in a loveless marriage," and then he like, "What is happening right now?" But also this week, Kamen Rider.
I've never looked into it before we get away from that. Allegedly, the stuff that didn't make it on American Ninja Warrior was what they set up as the bigger version of the Castle games.
Oh, you have to.
So literally, they shot it in the same spot. They had the same basic premise, except for the fact that one was, let's get the best athletes we can find to try and do an obstacle course. And the other one was, let's kill people with rocks.
Yeah.
It's like, what the?
And make them run uphill while they're doing it.
Mm-hmm. And then randomly just screw them over in a game because why not?
Kamen Rider V3, the complete series, and the complete series of New Amsterdam, which my wife was also a big fan of. Let's get into movie talk and stuff we watched this week. Movie edition. Maybe if we did this show in a couple of days, I'd have a lot more to do here because I got a lot of stuff delivered to the house today. I got this year's Neon box set, and what we're told is the first wave of A24 films. So I got plenty to do. Some I'm not going to watch.
I think I got like 7 A24 emails today.
Yeah. Some I'm not going to watch. Some I've already seen. But we want to thank A24 and Neon for sending us these screener DVDs. I'm very excited to watch some of these films. Some I was not aware
tell you
of.
with 100% certainty, they will be considered.
That's right. I will be considering them because they are for my consideration. The only other things I watched movie-wise were one we're going to talk about. The other I'm going to have to talk to you about off air because it ain't coming out for a while.
Makes sense. But yeah, the only thing I have in this one is the alluded to review that we all have at www.theclubhousepodcast.com.
That's still our website. All right, let's get into it. Your other note that you sent me this week was about a popcorn bucket.
So, have you seen an image for this?
I have not. All I know is there's an anime Lord of the Rings coming next month called the.
Okay,
hold
on. I was what I was going to ask you to do was to look up an image for this while I discuss what's going on. That way I'll buy time. Cool.
Okay. Doing so
now. The War of Rohirrim, which sounds like I'm mumbling over something, but it really is an anime inspired. I don't know if we can call it a full anime movie or film. That is Lord of the Rings based. It looks incredible. And as we've seen with this trend of popcorn buckets, they are just getting wilder and wilder as they happen, whether it be the Venom face or Wolverine or the Sandworm from Dune 2. Are you ready?
Yes, I have it.
This movie has decided to eschew normal popcorn bucket style. And feel free to throw it up at any time because I can't delay this any further.
I'm just waiting for the little pop. You ready?
Gotcha. It is a weapon. And when I say it is a weapon, it is an actual 3-foot warhammer. So it's
because when you're stopping evil, you need snacks. Duh.
Snacks.
And
honestly, this one might get me. I have never bought a popcorn bucket in my life. This one might get me just for the ridiculousness of it.
Can I tell you another cool one?
Warhammer.
Can I show you another one I just saw? This one's for Gladiator 2. And I don't know who's doing this. Oh, it's a Fandango is doing this. Look at this bad boy.
Yes, it is.
Welcome to Popcorn Tin Books Talk, everybody. Check this bad boy out.
Okay, I retract my statement. I might actually get this one.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is a good use of structure.
I mean, there's some
no sharks. No sharks.
Oh, but wait a minute, dude.
Oh no.
Regal Theater. Regal.
Welcome to.
That was Fandango's.
Bucket talk. Yeah.
Regal Theaters just said, "Hold my beer." Hold on a second. I gotta cancel this because
I'm holding.
Wow. You can have that one,
but
I would like this one, please.
You know what? I had a feeling this is what it was going to be. Yeah, no, I want the Maximus.
Oh, that's so cool.
You know what? No, I'll take both because that's how I roll.
Because you're extreme. But yeah, no, I'm here for it. Go hammer. Go hammer. Go hammer.
Oh no.
Okay. And it's going to get an IMAX release too. Mm-hmm. Which I thought this was going to go straight to like Prime Video. And then I saw one sheet and I was like, oh, this is getting a theatrical. And then we were at North Park and they had an
clarify what you're referring to.
This movie.
The Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
War for of the Rohirrim.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I wanted to clarify, as there was a little bit of Gladiator 2 that has not come out yet, discussion. So I wanted to bring us back to clarify what you mean. And yeah, I thought this was going straight to Netflix.
Conan O'Brien's going to host the Oscars.
Solid choice.
Ooh, your video's behind your audio again. Let me close this tab.
That is a real long delay.
Yeah. Also now rumors this week, Kevin Smith is saying we are getting Dogma 2. Kind of feel like they wrapped that up in the first one.
And allegedly we have had 2 people sign on.
Probably the main 2, I'm thinking. That aren't Jay and Silent Bob?
No.
Okay.
Oh, depends on your opinion of Loki and Bartleby.
Yep, there you go. Found out yesterday that the live action How to Train Your Dragon is set for June 13th and was filmed for IMAX. So Don will be very happy with that.
The trailer looks amazing.
Denzel Washington is saying we're getting 2 more Equalizer movies.
I saw this.
After putting out there that he's being written into the next Black Panther movie, which I don't know was supposed to be public knowledge, but yeah. Daniel Craig and Luca Guadagnino, who directed him in this movie he's got coming out called Queer, they're working on a Sergeant Rock movie, which years and years and years ago this was going to happen.
But I am unfamiliar.
It's a DC Comics title. It's basically just a war series. There's no superhero factor to it or anything, but Bruce Willis was supposed to do it, and they were doing it in the 90s. So,
okay. So basically, it's kind of like Human Interest, but based in Warzone.
Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
Something I think you're going to be interested in. I think this might be an appointment for you and Sean.
Go on.
January 3rd. IMAX. With a 4K release the following week. Little independent movie called Seven.
Ooh.
IMAX and 4K remaster.
I am very intrigued because I very much enjoy that movie. But I have a certain question.
What's in the box?
No, that's the question everybody has, but we all know the answer. Right. I'm referring to a certain player in the film.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not going to put my own opinions into that on air, but I will say that it is understood, acknowledged. I love the movie Seven. I thought it was really incredibly done, and I am looking forward to this.
So, yeah, Fincher directs the crap out of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And when Community does
that is a top to bottom masterpiece.
Yeah. And when Community does an entire episode dedicated to it, I'm just saying.
I'm sorry, what now?
Community did an entire episode that was an homage to Fincher and specifically Seven. Where it was like a water gun battle on campus. Oh, it's wonderful. It is wonderful. Need to watch
Community.
Movie new releases in places you get movie new releases this day. Tomorrow. Let's go.
On this day.
We have a movie called Armor, which has Sylvester Stallone, a father and son working as security. Oh, Jason Patrick's in this? A father and son working as security guard for a truck company encounter a team of would-be robbers while on a bridge. They become trapped and must come up with a plan to escape. I see what they did there. And ensure their survival. Also this week, you can call this a faith-based film, but it's based on a true story called Bonhoeffer, Pastor, Spy, Assassin. As the world teeters on the brink of annihilation, Dietrich Bonhoeffer joins a deadly plot to assassinate Hitler, risking his faith and fate to save millions of Jews from genocide. I'm hearing very good things about this.
It sounds awesome.
Also, Never Look Away. This is a documentary that deals with CNN camera woman Margaret Moth, who captures footage of war zones. This was directed by Lucy Lawless. This premiered at Sundance. Christine Amanpour, for used to be with CNN. She's in this. There's a lot around this. Also this week, Wicked Part 1. That's right. You heard me correctly. Mm-hmm. Don has reviewed this because he went and saw it. And I love how the theaters are like
www.theclubhousepodcast.com
remains our website. I love how all these theaters are like, we're doing sing-alongs on Christmas Day, so don't sing along with the movie. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck
I've already seen the video replies that says, if you want to hear Ariana Grande sing, don't bother going to the theater for a solid 2 weeks, because there is a Broadway dropout that will be sitting 3 seats to your left singing her heart out.
It ain't going to be the guys that went to the room because they were awesome.
Yeah, the SMU choir was amazing.
Also this week, Gladiator 2.
Now, Rob, as a little tease for the audience, if you happen to be a Roman emperor,
I will neither confirm nor deny.
What hand motion would you give to determine your opinion of this film?
Just a little bit past
that is a perfect. I feel like you and I are both in that vein, but I have to go a little up, because if I may, I feel like this is one of those movies where my critic hat makes me hate it more, but when I watch it as a fan, I'm going to enjoy it more. That's what I'm hanging my hat on, because God, do I love the original so much that I need this to be better.
There's a piece that we're going to talk about this off air too.
Yeah,
we did see it on IMAX. I can say that. Movies on DVD and Blu-ray where you get movies on DVD and Blu-ray. Problemista. I saw this earlier this year. It's one of the DVDs we were sent today. The Steelbook for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The complete collection limited edition steelbook of the Hatchet series of films, if that's your thing. Arrow Video has volume 3 of what they're calling the Shawscape. These are a bunch of movies that the Shaw brothers did. Friend of the show, Alan Cerny's a big fan of those guys. We have Alfred Hitchcock, the Iconic Film Collection. There's a lot going on there. And the Criterion Collection this week does The Shape of Water and Paper Moon.
I very much enjoyed Shape of Water.
And now, this. Let's get into the Cheat Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things professional wrestling. It has been a week in our sport. Let's talk about it. WoW was preempted this week for some reason. And I did see Fly Def are now your new and first 5-time Reality of Wrestling tag team champions. They overhauled all their belts. The new belts look a lot better. Good. I do like their Texas Championship. That's a good looking belt. WWE stuff. Congratulations to Dragon Lee. He is your new Speed champion. This is still a thing.
Well, you can't have a third-rate title on a guy you're trying to make a second-rate champion in Andrade.
My whole thing is I would love to see the numbers on this, because I don't know anybody that watches this. I don't know anybody that does.
Watches actively. No, I watched the original tournament because I was intrigued by the concept. No, it's honestly, as somebody who has long said that matches should be built up and you got to give people longer than 10, 15 minutes in certain circumstances, a 3-minute match does nothing for me.
Have you watched SmackDown yet?
Yes, I did. When I finished it, I went to text you and realized how late it was, and I'm not that guy.
All right, here we go. B-Fab, also now B-Fabulous. Let's keep it old school. Keep it old school. I'm not
Of
adjusting
all
my.
the people from Hit Row, that she's the one that survived.
But she got a lot of praise backstage for that match.
There
I
was
have
a
no,
lot of praise. Yes,
but
like,
be
there was nothing wrong with
fabulous.
it.
No, let's keep it be fab. Keep it cool. Enter Shinsuke Nakamura. Good to see him back on my TV.
Odd face paint.
But I'm not. That's not what I was referring to. Because I know you're a big Shinsuke fan, but that is
I
not what
am
I'm
a huge Nakamura fan.
Enter Bronson Reed as the 5th member of the new bloodline. You know, it would not have hurt my feelings if they waited until next week to reveal that, because now Seth kind of has to join.
I have an alternate booking for you.
Go on.
So Seth has been adamant, no, even with his hatred of Bronson Reed. Who does Seth hate more than anyone else?
Oh.
Did you just get there, or are you fishing?
No, I think you're talking about CM Punk.
I am talking about CM Punk, a.k.a. the original Heyman guy. No. Allow me to demonstrate this for you. Seth Rollins gets to keep his word about not joining the team. CM Punk again steps in front of Seth Rollins to be the story, driving Seth further nuts to then set up a program that will start after War Games, lead through the Rumble, and will either give us an absolute banger of a match at Mania or become one of the title matches.
He was announced as being in a new TV series coming up.
Seth or Punk?
Punk. He is joining the cast of the sci-fi series Revival. It's a horror series. He'll be in a recurring role.
He is a big fan of horror. That's why he did Girl on the Third Floor or something of that ilk. But yeah, having Punk come in with Heyman bringing him in fits the team and the story in that scope of returning to the old while also driving Seth completely mad. And then having the other aspect of maybe you go ahead and let Punk pin Bronson Reed. And then Seth looks that much dumber. I love the idea of using War Games to expand out from there.
Which spins me into my next point, and this is what I was referring to. That ending stuck the landing for me.
Yes, it did.
That was fantastic television. And I was not going to spoil that for you, because Roman calling Heyman and getting the number you have is not in service. And as it repeats, we go off the air. I was like, oh my God, that was fantastic.
Do you want the pro or the con?
Give me both.
The pro, I absolutely agree with you. I think it's fantastic. And I think every single producer who didn't get it, who has been hearing about Joe Anawai as the next big star in Hollywood, just realized it, because that emotional delivery might be better than anything his cousin's done on film yet. But I already knew about that.
I'm sorry.
It's the internet. People don't know how to.
I hate when stuff gets ruined for you, especially something like that, because I was like, "There's no way."
As much as I hate spoilers, I think I have invited the trolls to spoil things. I think that might be it.
From Raw, we have Women's War Games set. I really thought it was going to be Bayley. I'm okay that it's Rhea in her Phantom of the Paradise outfit, as I saw it labeled on the internet. But I'm okay with it, and I just love that she said it. Because when someone with a British accent says it, it just makes it that much better. Well, she's Australian.
British colony?
She's Australian, but that accent in general, I said correctly.
Well, there's only one thing I need with this, though. Whoever becomes the 5th member of the OG bloodline, I just need William Regal with a live microphone.
Yes.
That's all I ask. It's not much.
From NXT, Zarya, Stephanie Vaquer, and Nathan Frazier qualify for the Iron Survival Challenge, which is coming up at Deadline on December the 7th. And
solid choices all around.
Chase U is no more.
Nice, sad. I can't believe I'm sad about that.
I think part of that is Thea's getting ready to be called up.
There's a distinct possibility with that.
And
But there was
kind of
another
hard
thing
to
well, she's the animated aspect. I mean, Duke Hudson is great at being Duke Hudson and being 6'5". Chase did a great job being Andre Chase or Mr. Chase. If you don't have Thea, none of that work.
And when you had NXT 2.0, that Andre Chase bit should not have worked. It should not have worked. And thank God Duke Hudson's not a poker player anymore. That's all I'm saying. But the fact that it worked the way it did and worked for as long as it did, I'm not hating on it. I just kind of need to know where we're going from here. AEW announcing that the Continental Classic starts on Wednesday. Go ahead, sir.
The note I had on that one is, did you notice anything about Zarya when she throws her F5?
I did not.
This may ruin something for you, so I apologize in advance. Remember how we have the hard time, don't look at the eyes when there's a pin, don't look at the eyes, it gives it away?
Yeah.
So we've gotten used to Brock Lesnar just throwing people, and that's how the F5 goes.
Right.
Do you notice what Zarya does to try and make it, or succeed in making it, that much more intense?
Mm-mm.
So whenever she throws somebody up, she throws them higher. Okay. And then she throws a toddler tantrum level flat back to pop the ring and tries to time it. It's the funniest thing. And it's
I'm watching that now.
You have to, okay, even if you just go back for a highlight, just watch how hard she throws herself flat back to make it sound that much more impressive. And you know what? That's a reason I love her.
And they were on Trivial Pursuit, but they were used as like video packages. So they were wasted for that. I was very upset. AEW announcing that the Continental Classic will start this coming Wednesday. So we're going to see how that goes. Winter is Coming is set for December the 11th. Did you see the pricing on the all-in VIP packages?
Yeah, I did. You ain't mania, homie.
Yeah. And I was talking to a friend of the show, Scott Jackson, last night, or the other night when we were at Gladiator 2, because he was showing me the first pictures I saw of it. As much as Don complains about if you're not in the first 3 rows, you don't want to be on the floor, that layout is that much worse.
Yeah. Because it's a baseball.
They're putting a lot of seats on field level. Yikes. Fight for the Fallen will be New Year's Day.
Mm-hmm.
It will also be AEW's premiere on Max, and it will be live at the same time that it is on TNT or TBS or whoever the heck's got it.
Are you a ratings guy?
I used to be. I'm at the point now where it's like, I'm just going to like what I like.
Oh, no, that's not what I mean. I'm referring to more, are you one of the people that thinks ratings truly matters?
Not in this day and age.
That's okay. You're in the same boat as me then. But with this, I am curious to see if there is any research that would combine the Turner numbers with Max, or anything of that ilk that might make this make sense or make it better, because I know Tony Khan is big on the fact of how many more countries and viewers that couldn't in any way, shape, or form get Dynamite or other programming will now be able to on Max. So I'm curious to see if there's going to be a number spike.
I'm sorry, my wheels just kind of got shot off. Have you seen this JJ Watt Dick's Sporting Goods commercial?
The one where he's trapped in a Dick's?
And he looks at the mannequin with the Steeler outfit and says, "You sit on a throne of lies." I was like,
well, that also starts with him going, "I made my family disappear." It's like, aren't you the one that likes your family?
Toni Storm saying that she is now retiring.
No.
Now, see, remember what I want, how I fantasy booked this. That you bring her back because it's Turner, in that really bad colorization thing they did in the 80s and 90s with the black and white movies. You do that with her.
The
As
one
you
the
transition her back into
colorization.
her.
Wait, the
Yes.
colorization that somehow made John Wayne more racist as Genghis Khan.
And turned Frank Sinatra into old brown eyes. Yes.
Yeah.
Revolution will be at the crypto.com arena March.
Did you see that somebody actually asked Tony Khan about Tony Storm's retirement?
Mm-mm.
To his credit, his response was, the reporting of Tony Storm's demise has been greatly exaggerated.
But we have Revolution scheduled March 9th in LA. By the way, this week is Full Gear.
Mm-hmm.
From Rampage, I need to know if the missing string on Harley's guitar was a rib.
I don't know that it was a rib as much as she just sold it.
Because the look on her face of, oh, it's missing a string. Like, I don't know if somebody did that or if she did that, but I howled. And we had a Richard Holiday sighting.
Yes, we did. Most marketable Richard Holiday.
There will be no collision this week because they are doing like a triple header NHL day.
Well, so there's a couple levels to that.
Yeah. From Dynamite, as Chris Statlander wins her match, Excalibur and Mercedes Monet's music hits. Excalibur says, as if on cue. See what you did there, Excalibur. And I'm here for it. I enjoyed it very much.
I saw I wish I could steal this. Mercedes Moné isn't even the best Mercedes on that show.
Yeah. So we're going to see how this goes on Saturday. Anything else you want to talk about?
It's not wrestling related. So
okay.
I have to ask the question is, are we at the plugs?
We are.
Then I have an interesting bit of factoid for you, sir.
Bring it.
Today is November 21st.
It is.
Do you know that it is Ken Griffey Jr.'s birthday?
I did not. They didn't say that today on B&T. At least I didn't hear it.
I'm going to go a little bit further with this. Would you agree Ken Griffey Jr. should have been a unanimous Hall of Fame entry and is arguably one of the best all-around baseball players to ever live?
No disagreement.
Okay. So Ken Griffey Jr. also one of the elite members of the 500 home run, 3,000 hit club. Mm-hmm. Did you know that Ken Griffey Jr., despite all of these accolades and being the best all around, does not hold the record for most hits by an outfielder born on November 21st in Deborna, Pennsylvania?
That's one of the most baseball stats I've ever heard in my life.
It is such a euchre fact. I can't stop laughing at it. So you would think, very small town in Pennsylvania, how could somebody possibly, A, be born in the same hospital, B, be born on the same day, not date, in the same position, and have more hits than Ken Griffey Jr.?
Who is that person?
That person is Stan the Man Musial.
Very nice.
Who was teammates in Deborna in high school with Ken Griffey's father.
Senior.
So not Ken Griffey Sr., Ken Griffey Sr.'s father.
Oh, so his grandfather.
Ken Griffey Jr.'s grandfather.
Wow.
I saw that and I was like, I'm going to build this and I'm just going to lay the trap and let Rob enjoy this the way I did.
Nice.
Because to think about the bragging rights that if you were a lesser person, that Stan Musial would be able to be like, Griffey's okay. I got more hits and we're from the same city.
There you go.
It's like, but literally I saw that and my brain imploded.
That's insane. All right.
Over there. He's an all-timer.
Over there is a QR code. Scan it and get all of our social medias.
Acknowledge QR code.
We are so excited that you are part of the empire on this journey that we're with on Sunset Lounge DFW. Got some really cool stuff coming. Trust. You can follow me on all your social medias if you'd like. Everything is yes, that Rob Irvin. That is spelled ERVIN.
I'm Vexploit on all social media. If you'd like to help out the show, go to prowrestlingtees.com/the-cheap-podcast. We got a lot of different designs, a lot of different color options within those designs. If you happen to be an artist and want to submit a design to be in the store or have an idea for tweaks, if you submit the artwork, you get paid for every shirt that sells. And you can reach out to me at alex@theclubhousepodcast.com for that.
The official fact checker of Sooner Gator Productions is Don Ford. You can find him on Twitter at Igbunu, IGBUNUUU. And did you get our blue sky up there on the thing? Is it working now?
I did not check the handle, but I will tonight.
Okay, cool. You can send, if you want us to do a live show for you, we love doing live shows, hanging out with the Empire. You can email him. He's Don@theclubhousepodcast.com. You want to email me, questions, comments, concerns, tell me to go pound sand. I am Rob@theclubhousepodcast.com. Charlotte Marshall is on Pinterest because we are morally obligated to say it, and it's her birthday week, so happy birthday to my sister. We will not be live next week, but we got cool stuff for you, so pay attention to the feed, and we'll be back in 2 weeks live with all of the madness you enjoy of this show. So until next time, for Alex, for Don, for the Empire, I'm Rob. Clubhouse is closed. Got no Brittany Palmer news for you this week. I think she's kind of taking a break, and there's nothing wrong with that.